all. Welcome, Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us on a terrific Tuesday, and looking forward to the day. 844-766-6607 is the number. It's Matthew James, Tax and Wealth Management Hotline. Honored to have Honorable Senator John Kennedy from the great state of Louisiana. Senator Kennedy, how you doing?
Moon, I'm great. While I was on hold, I talked to your son who's working there with you, and he's smarter than you, Moon.
Well, John, that ain't saying much.
And you know what else he told me? He told me we haven't met, but he told me he's better looking than you, too. And I said, that's a low bar, man.
No, look, John, I got to tell you, the two things my mama never told me was that I was smart and that I look good. So you ain't saying much, brother. I got to tell you, you're not saying a whole lot. Anyway, it's good to have you with us today. I appreciate you taking a few minutes.
You better believe it.
John, and there's a lot of things in direction we can go, but one of the main ones, just because people want to know, we keep looking at this, and I'm going to jump gears with you just on this one. The budget, $34 trillion in debt. It never stops. We put it off 2 or 3 months, only to put it off for 2 or 3 months, only to put it. Are we ever going to stop the spending trend? Because sooner or later, this blows up on us so bad, it's not even fun. There's no way you can continue doing this. So I'm just kind of curious if you could get my mind around this budget and budget deficit stuff, because some of us got problems with it. Just can you address it a little bit?
Sure. We have no chance of changing this until we have a change of administration. And by that, I mean getting President Biden out of the White House, having Republicans control the Senate, and having Republicans control the House. Now, even then, that's not a guarantee, Moon, because there are a lot of folks up here on the Republican side who talk a good game, but when it comes down to actually reducing the deficit and getting control of spending, they don't want to do it. But it's not going to happen under this administration. We're struggling with the budget because those of us who think we run deficits not because we tax too little, but because we spend too much, are resisting this effort to do an omnibus. A lot of the members of the House are doing a great job, in my opinion, including and especially Mike Johnson, to try to hold the spending down. And that's what's going on. And we may not ever have a budget. We may just end up voting to continue the current budget.
Yeah, well, that's. I just don't see how we ever maintain this. That's why. And if it ever blows up, and it's just a matter of time, it will. It's going to be because, we didn't have enough people. I don't care if they're Republican or Democrats that did the right thing. That was always been a concern with me. I just think when you disrespect money, it eventually going to disrespect you, and that's my big beef with.
Well, there's no free lunch, and you don't get one now.
No,
I mean it's real simple. Americans understand. Louisianians understand. If you every month you put more and more on the credit card and just pay the minimum, sooner or later you can't sustain it, and we're getting there. The only reason we're able to that Washington's able to keep doing this is because the American economy is so strong that when we issue debt, people will buy it. They'll loan us the money to keep doing it.
But let me ask you a quick question off of that. If today everybody said not buying anymore, that would change the landscape real quick, wouldn't it?
Oh, we're once and truly screwed if that happens.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden we stuck out, we floated this debt, because that's all Treasury bonds are. You're just borrowing money. It's like going to the bank and saying, loan me more money so I can buy another car. Yeah. If we tried to sell these bonds and everybody throughout the world said, nope, we don't want any more. You borrowed too much, we're once and truly screwed.
Yeah,
we would be forced then.
Yeah, but that's my big fear, John, is that I just don't want to go through a Great Depression. I've read and heard enough about it, but that's what it would lead to. And I'm not trying to get you on a negative side. I just think this spending.
No, but the other argument I hear from the Biden people, Moon, all the time is, well, it doesn't matter your growth in debt. What matters is if your economy's growing faster than your debt. Well, number one, I don't agree with that. But number two, our economy's not growing faster than our debt.
No.
We're losing every minute.
Well, it's causing, and I'll stop with this, it's causing unbelievable inflation every time we print money. And and I'm telling you what, I went yesterday, and I don't grocery shop a whole lot. I came back. My wife, we went to the grocery store. Said she forgot to get a bag of chips. So I ran in, got the chips, and I didn't pay attention. I grabbed the chips, put it up, record. I self-checked out. I know you don't believe I can do that, Senator Kennedy, but I can. And I checked out $6.29 for a bag of chips. We're usually paying at $3 something. And I thought, holy cow. Proving I don't really know reality either when it comes to the grocery store because my bride does the shopping. But I saw that and I thought, this is outrageous for a bag of chips. And I just couldn't believe what I had just paid for. But I paid for it because I wanted it. But anyway,
sure.
I just think this is the problem. The other big problem that I see.
Well, if I could just say,
yes,
you're
sir.
right. It is a problem. And President Biden keeps saying, well, inflation's coming down. And inflation is, in some areas, coming down. But that doesn't mean prices are falling. All inflation coming down means is that prices are going up less rapidly.
Yeah.
We're still stuck with the high prices. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit to go in the store today, up here especially, to find out that a honey bun costs $10 now. Yeah. I mean, it is, and it's really hurting ordinary Americans. It's not hurting the elites. You know, they're fine. They're making plenty of money, but it's hurting the rest of us.
I'm very middle class, and I saw $6.29 on chips, and I thought, holy cow! I know I didn't pay that last time I bought them. And once again, I don't grocery shop a whole lot. The other thing that I wanted to talk with you, by the way, if you're just joining us, we're honored to have Senator John Kennedy, our special guest. The other thing is the border problem. I saw where they said 6.5 million have come across in 3 years. That probably means it's 13 million. But the big problem is the Supreme Court. And you look at what they did in Texas where they were putting up these fences and stuff. Supreme Court on a 5-4 with Republicans 6-3 ruled that no, the federal government can go in there and tear them down and cut them up. Well, that's not going to help the problem. I don't understand a ruling by the Supreme Court.
Well, in fairness to the Supreme Court, I haven't read the ruling.
Okay.
I'm going to. It's in my reading file, but I haven't. But let me tell you what's going on the border, okay? President Biden says, okay, I'm serious this time. I want to secure the border. But yet every day we're trying to negotiate this new border reform, and he fights us every single day. Now, American people need to wake up, as they have, and smell the incompetence and the hypocrisy. Joe Biden believes in open borders. We're not going to get completely control of this border until he's out of the White House and we've got control again, because they believe in open borders. For whatever reason, they believe in them. Joe Biden, if he were serious about controlling this border, he could do it in 6 weeks. And I can go through the measures. I won't bore you with it, but the 5 or 6 things he could do that would secure it. And he doesn't need a law, okay? Yeah. But what we're trying to do between now and Election Day is figure out something to stem the flow. We've had 20 million people come into this country illegally, and we don't know who they are. That's like 5 Nebraskas, man. Yeah. And we're just trying to stem the tide until we can get President Biden out of the White House and into a retirement home.
Well, read the...
And that's what's going on. But he's fighting us every step of the way.
I'd like for you to go back and read, and I know you don't have time to do everything every second when it happens, but I wish you to go back and read that ruling, because here we are. We got a state that's fighting it, and the Supreme Court all of a sudden says no. And by the way, the headlines read Biden won, and that bothers me. But it also is the headlines of the media, and you know how bad the media is, not only in the federal government but in our state of Louisiana. And so headlines sometimes don't say it all. But when I did read about it, I thought, holy cow! I can't believe we're having something.
Well, I don't know what they based their ruling on. It could have been interstate commerce. It could have been the supremacy clause. You know, I want to be fair and read it first. Mm-hmm. But I agree with you. I saw the headlines. I knew they would be those kind of headlines up here in D.C. I saw them in Louisiana, too. And, well, let's face it, Louisiana is a news desert now.
Oh, no doubt.
Thank God for TV news and radio news, because otherwise you would never know what's going on, except, you know, you would think Joe Biden was doing a great job. The They worship at the altar of the Moon wing of the Democratic Party.
Well, they do that here, too, and you know it because they worship the altar of Bill Edwards. And the trajectory of the state was not good, and it got a lot worse the last 8 years. But if you read the news media, you thought we did great. And without federal money and without disasters, we'd be in big trouble down here, Senator Kennedy. I know you guys' job is to bring money back in, but it would be bad.
We've got time to turn it around.
I agree.
I mean, if the new governor and the new legislature get serious and control regulation and try to reduce taxes and build infrastructure, not more than they can afford now, and get serious about educating kids and not that we don't have good people trying now, but we need school choice and put pressure on the public schools and make them better. We can pull out of this. I'm not a big believer that the grass is always greener somewhere else. Grass is green when you water it. Yeah. And for 8 years we haven't watered our grass in Louisiana.
That's a good scenario, and I'll just tell you, I just want to see some of these changes because we need some big steps. And that's the problem. We need some big steps. Hey, Senator, I'm going to take a break. Your lady said you can stay one more segment. So let's take a break, and I'll come back and give you 6-7 more minutes. We'll talk a little bit about Israel, what's happening with them as well. I think you got some parental.
We'll talk about anything you want.
Okay, parental rights stuff that you'd like to talk about as well. So let's take a break.
We can talk about fishing if you want to.
Well, I'm all in for that now, no doubt about it. All right, United States Senator John Kennedy, my special guest. Take a break. Be right back. Oh, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6667. The Matthew James Tax Wealth Management Hotline. United States Senator John Kennedy joins us for one more segment to go. Senator Kennedy, I know we talked about money a while ago. Where are we at with Israel as far as money, funding, support, and things of that nature right now?
Well, good question. The money for Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and border security is all tied up in one bill. For 3 months, there's been a gab fest in the Senate where the James Lankford on my side of the aisle is negotiating with Chris Murphy, the Democrat. They're both working hard, the good guys and all that, but it's just been a gab fest. And I don't know if we're ever going to reach an agreement. What's going to happen after that, I have no idea. In terms of Israel, I will tell you, the recipe for world peace is not weakness. And President Biden is the epitome of weakness. Mm-hmm. He needs to leave Israel alone, let Israel go in and destroy Hamas. Mm-hmm. I mean, wipe them off the face of the earth, and then turn to the rest of the Arab community, excluding Iran, and saying it is your responsibility to govern the Palestinians and teach them not to hate. Now, that's the only way we're going to have peace in the Middle East. Joe Biden and his Secretary of State, we're in a bar fight, and they want to quote Socrates and read Beowulf. Mm-hmm. And we got to just go win this damn thing and knock Hamas out permanently. That's my opinion, and I'm ready to give them money to do it.
One other thing, you have a bill to restore parental rights. What bill is that, and what rights does it restore?
My bill is with a number of other senators, James Lankford, Tim Scott, a whole bunch of other good people. All we're saying is, remember when Secretary Hillary Clinton said it takes a village to raise a child? What she meant was it takes the federal government to raise a child. No, it doesn't. It takes a parent, and preferably two parents. And all our bill would do is say that parents have the right to raise their children according to their own values. For example, if the federal government tried to require schools to assist a child changing sexes without parental permission, the federal government would be prohibited from doing that. If the federal government told a teacher you can't share any of this information with the parent, our bill would give a cause of action for you to sue the federal government. That's all it does.
Okay.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Now, we'll be called bigots and xenophobics and racists and all that kind of stuff, but all this is just saying parents control.
By the way, people calling you racist and xenophobe and all that stuff, they get their choice too. And they get to do what they want to do too. It's kind of crazy.
Course.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, this is what it's come down to up here. If you don't, they call you a racist, a bigot, a Nazi if you don't agree with everything that Joe Biden wants to do. And he's controlled by the moon wing of the Democratic Party. And frankly, there are many news sources in Louisiana now that do that.
Oh, no doubt.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah. But the American people aren't stupid. They figured it out. Yeah. And the people in Louisiana figured this out long ago.
Senator Kennedy, got to go. Thank you. God bless.